Terminus probably going to be one of his better maps too. Should be suitable for his style.
Would you expect to see that early Hellion opening again?
Oh yeah.
Every time?
I would actually bet at least $40 or $50 on it, maybe 500, I don't know.
I'm not willing to take that bet. I'm sorry, I will not do it. Xlord in the red trunks right here. He is to the east of this particular map, which is the Terminus SE. He is playing Zerg versus his opponent, the one and only Happy. He is in the blue trunks and he is playing Terran.
Xlord asking if Bomber is good? What kind of a question is that?
Of course not. Bomber's terrible. What are you talking about? It's all Bomber in Platinum League. What can I tell you? No. Yes. Micro like a bot. That sounds about right. Oh, trash talking going on right here. Xlord not. Oh my. It's always good. At least we're getting some speech from it. These guys barely ever talk. As I said, I've seen barely any speech in this entire tournament so far.
Of course. We are StarCraft players. We are professionals.
Yes, you wouldn't want to be doing things like that.
2 Warcraft players, you see what that happens.
Are you telling me that there's some kind of uncouth ruffians, DLO?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go, folks. You heard it here first. Yeah, try that again. Well, you heard it here. My God, I can't use that sentence. You heard it here first. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Warcraft players, uncouth ruffians.
Except Krabby. I mean, a lot of Warcraft players are actually really nice guys, but I think they're a little bit more open to things like that.
A little bit of trash talk, a little bit of fun at the start. Nothing wrong with that. And of course, it gives us an excuse to talk about that, whereas otherwise we would be talking about the fact that Xlord is probably going to be fast expanding right now.
Yeah. And Happy once again going for normal gas. Actually, he delayed it a little bit, which is probably a mistake. Maybe thrown off by the talk of Xlord.
That's why you don't talk, folks. It ruins your build orders. It's horrendous.
Yeah.
Can't have that. What ruins my build orders is harassment. Like the probe. Probe comes starts poking at me. I go to pieces. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I've defeated Moro many times just by talking to him.
A good way to do it, folks. A good way to do it. Happy with the second Marine coming out right here. So if he doesn't deviate from his previous build, which, as you say, he never does, we'll see Factory. After the second Marine, we'll then see Reactor, and then will be the swap around for that 4 Hellion push.
And looking at the positioning of the Factory, I am pretty sure I'm correct once again.
It's looking very likely, let's be honest. I don't see anything else really happening. To be fair, if he's done the same build in TVZ in 500 games, I don't think he's going to suddenly change it now.
Maybe just to enrage me and make me look like an idiot.
He could do that. I have to wonder if that's actually part of his consideration. Xlord will click transfer down right there.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually doing something like that. Because he's adding a second gas.
And he's not building a reactor either.
Yeah. Looks like he might just be going for cloaked benches.
Why did I not take that bet? Someone remind me why I didn't take that bet. I could be very rich right now, but there you go. Happy for the once is deviating from his build. Why do you think that is exactly?
I wonder if it actually happened because he made a little bit of a blunder at the beginning.
It's a possibility, certainly. He said he delayed for a little bit, which of course will have affected the timing of his build.
And I'm not sure what he's going to be doing. It might actually just be a blue flame Hellion drop, considering he's not placing his starport close to his factory.
Yeah, so he's not going for the swap, certainly. He hasn't built anything from that. Well, he's got 1 Hellion coming out, so yeah, blue flame, there you go. Nice the call. And that's what we expect to see shortly. I have to wonder if it was down to that, or whether it was down to maybe because his Hellions actually didn't work very well at all in the last game, and Xlord was able to hold them very nicely. Maybe he's switching things up a bit, a little, to catch Xlord off guard.
Maybe that is the case, and it's actually quite hard to do an early push like he did on Talarim, on cross positions on Terminus, so probably just adapting his style a little bit.
Single Hellion has been spotted by the scouting of Xlord. However, Xlord is actually pushing to the front. He is not expecting a drop, he's expecting a Hellion push, which is not what's coming.
Well, he at least have a nice spread of his overlords. Might catch a Medivac coming in.
It's very, very possible. You can have a look at where that starport is. The funny thing is, this is actually not a drop yet. The Viking is coming out, not a Medivac.
Interesting. He probably just wants to kill those overlords to make Xlord a little bit more blind and vulnerable to a drop incoming after.
Sounds like a plan. It should certainly do the job, and the medevac is following up, so it will certainly be a Blue Flame Hellion drop, but it is slightly delayed. And denying that scouting is going to be crucial. As you were saying, the Overlord spread is good. Happy is already aware of this, and surely he'll actually start sending those Vikings around looking for the Overlords.
Xlord, however, should be aware of it himself, seeing Hellions coming out, but just one by one, suggesting there's not a reactor, so there should be attack left.
We shall find out what Xlord decides to do. Those spine crawlers are not at the back, and we do see absolutely no defense at the back of Xlord's main either. So if he has realized, he's certainly not revealing that yet.
Definitely not, but there is still a little bit of time left for that medevac drop to come in. Xlord looks very unprepared, but now he's sending in speed links into his main. Probably is, yeah, it looks like he's prepared. He's patrolling with his circling, trying to get as much of scouting as possible, and he will be spotting that drop.
We'll see what happens with that one. The Viking has cleared out the Overlords, so that's not too much of a problem. But of course, since he sees that Viking around, then he's got to be expecting some kind of drop play. And there's the patrol, as you can see. But we're just waiting to see whether or not he will have enough to deal with this. Baneling's on the way as well. There's the Blue Flame drop. It's going to come down to the micro. As you said before, that Speedling attack is very effective against the Blue Flame Hellions if he's able to get a good surround on it. And Xlord backing off very rapidly right here. Queen taking a little bit of fire. Needs to bring down some fire. Either the Zerglings on the drones and on the Queen. A quick pick up and go, and he is out of there. So very close to losing that Hellion.
Yeah, but obviously one of the traits of Warcraft 3 players, having that perfect pinpoint micro, just getting units out in the last second.
Yep, without question.
The Viking is still doing great damage, already having 2 kills, and might actually spawn one more Overlord if he goes just a bit more to the left.
Yeah, unfortunately, he has missed that one, but that's going to be infuriating for Xlord, who can't do anything about that right now.
Yeah, and still being in the supply block while he lost his economy, not a spot you want to be in.
No, not at all. He does have a significant economic lead over his opponent. It's 29 SCVs to 40 drones. And even with the 2 mules, that doesn't quite make that up. Here come the Blue Flame Hellions, and that's actually a great position right here. Xlord was not prepared for that at all. Spine crawlers remain at the front of the base, which to me seems bizarre. You would have thought that it would have pulled them back after that drop. The medevac did survive, and it actually drops in the area of the usual 3rd expansion. And I can tell you that he took 13 workers there.
Impressive play by Happy, and maybe he makes our wishes come true and turns that into a 2-0. It certainly looks like it so far.
He's applying pressure. The question is, what's his follow-up going to be? It's probably going to be a Marine tank, I would think. And Xlord looking for the surround right here. A good bit of micromanagement there by Happy. Excellent micro by Happy. He doesn't even lose a single Hellion.
Crazy. All those Hellions up to almost 10 kills now, having killed almost 40 units in total just by 4 Hellions. Crazy.
That's absurd. It's really, really good. Xlord still hasn't pulled these spine crawlers back. I can't understand that. Surely he would want to place them there and do a bit of damage. They have finally now, Xlord is moving them.
Yeah, a little bit too late, I'd say.
Yeah, no kidding. He just lost a ton of units. 23 workers killed, 41 units killed to 0. That is, yeah, the visual display. We have little bars right here. It's blue. It's nothing but blue.
I've never seen that before, I think.
That's absurd. The amount of damage that Happy's doing here is ridiculous. Also, trying to deny these creep spread tumors, but still. That Viking's still hanging around as well. It's taken 3 Overlords in total. It's still alive as well. Happy going for a flawless victory right here, which I think I've never seen that happen. It won't, surely.
I'm not sure if it even ever happened.
I don't think it could. I mean, it's just absurd. But if anyone can do it, folks, it is Happy who keeps these alive.
Beautiful transition by Happy, going into a full mech play, having a lot of Thors out very soon. Making the Mutalisk play by Xlord pretty much useless. If he gets enough turrets in his main and natural, he can just push out and end the game very quickly.
Armor supply count going in favor of Happy. Worker supply count also looking pretty good for Happy right now. It's 43 plus 2 mules to 48 drones, so pretty much equal for the time being. Xlord with those muters, and as you said, he will need those Thors out. He's already got 2. That Viking, oh no, Xlord! He kills a unit.
He kills a unit and
he might kill Hellions. Ouch. There you go. Oh, Happy. Those Hellions were heroes.
I would take that as a huge blow to my ego, just because I would have wanted them to survive. But it's actually not the same Hellions, at least.
Yeah, that's actually true. So his hero Hellions are not there at all. I wonder where they are, actually. I can't really see them. Oh, yes, he's actually hanging them on the front line, so looks like he is keeping them alive. It's a matter of pride, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody wants to lose a Hellion with 15 kills.
No, no. Well, if it was Command & Conquer, folks, it would gain a firepower upgrade and self-regen. It's not Command & Conquer, so
but we are actually commentating a good game.
Oh, Iceburn right there, TLO. Good lord, surely you liked Red Alert.
Yeah, Red Alert 1 was nice, and Command & Conquer 1 was pretty nice too, but it just went downhill after.
I can tell you for a fact, if you question the competitive nature of Command & Conquer Generals, you're going to upset Apollo.
Oh yeah, I don't care about that.
Xlord right here looking for a little bit of harassment right here as Happy holds the line quite nicely. Oh no, the Hellions, no! He keeps them alive. He really is toying with Xlord right now with those Hellions, I have to say. He's baiting Xlord. Look at that.
Just teasing them with this Hellion. Look how many drones they already killed. Do you want to get them?
That's fantastic. I love it. I love this attitude right here by Happy. And for the time being, he's of course been dominating Xlord, but he has been leaving Xlord alone for a while, which has allowed Xlord to take his third and gain a significant work account lead.
And having Infestors out on the field as well with a neural parasite upgrade. So unless Happy is being very careful with his tanks and slow pushes, he might actually walk right into a trap, losing all his doors.
That would be unpleasant. We'll find out. He's going to have to be pretty quick about it. Neural Parasite is on its way. We are looking at a 40-second window where Happy could actually go in there and do big damage. He'll be able to clear out the Mutalists very, very easily with those 4 Thors at the back. He's also got +1 upgrade on that, which is fantastic. As I say, it's transitioned into an amazing mech play.
Absolutely, and he needs to be quick now because Infestors don't have enough energy yet. So if he just goes straight for his attack, he will be, having Xlord in a really awkward position.
The Hellion lives. Somehow the Hellion lives on 5 HP, charging past the Mutalist. It's still alive. I don't know how, but Happy doing an incredible job right here of pushing forward. Creep spread is looking pretty good right now for Xlord, so that's certainly something to watch out for. But Happy stomping his way across that. A few scans to back it up. A good defense by the looks of it. That's 6 spine crawlers. That's going to take a while to work through.
Definitely, and Infestors will have enough energy in just a few seconds. Neural Parasite Thors.
This could turn this around entirely. He's going to be very, very careful. But that is still 6 Thors. That's a lot of firepower raining down right there on that spine crawler wall. Minimum damage. Most of those Hellions, I think possibly all of the originals, are still alive at the back right there. And siege tanks backing this area up as well. But he's not pushing in yet. Xlord looks like he might be a bit confident to take this out. Certainly if he gets a neural parasite.
Absolutely. It doesn't look like the most scary Terran army I've seen so far. And Happy actually made a giant mistake taking out creep rumors, but leaving the front creep rumors alive, so really the creep spread will just be as good as before, and he will still be able to spread it out.
Yep, and it's not made a blind bit of difference to Xlord, and Xlord must be very, very happy about that. The army supply is starting to close, and Xlord is looking for an opportunity. He could actually neural parasite from the top of this, and there's no visibility up the top of this cliff. As you can see right there, Infestor's moving in. He could grab one neural parasite maybe, but he doesn't want to go for it just yet. He's very, very patient.
He might want to just to save that surprise for a little bit later.
It's looking likely because here comes the charge. There's the neural parasite, and he turns the Thor on the tanks right here. A detonation, mass neural parasites coming in. The Infestors were cleaned up so fast, though. I don't think that was as good as he wanted it to be.
Still being able to take out that entire army, looks like.
He cleans it up, though. You've got to give him that credit, and that Thor will finally go down. He holds, Happy holding just. Wow.
However, we do have 50 more circlings coming in, so he does have one medevac to evacuate a single Thor, but everything else should be going down.
Yes, indeed. Here comes the Hellion. He needs to reposition that Hellion perhaps, maybe do a little bit more damage, but you're right, those Thors are probably going to be annihilated right here unless the Hellion can get a good bit of damage on. 2 tanks come in as well, and that was a mistake. Happy just threw those tanks away by looks of it. 1 down, second one down, looks for the surround of that. Oh my god, great pickup right there. Look at that. He didn't lose them at all. It looked like that exploded, but he picks them up.
Very nice move by him. Always picking up tanks is a nice micro move, already being done 8 years ago in Brood War.
Oh yes, and it's a skill that transitions quite nicely through to StarCraft 2. I mean, they were going down so fast, you could barely see it. Faster than the eye could see right there. Happy's able to keep those siege tanks alive. Unbelievable micro. Happy
trying to deny the 4th base by Xlord, but he can throw it down, losing a Hellion in the process. And we do have a Kratos Spire ready, which means we will have Brood Lords. And Happy does not even have a reactor on his starport just yet, adding a second starport. And no, just a second starport, because he knows he needs to get out a lot of Vikings as quickly as possible now.
He does, and it's going to be unpleasant if he is unable to deal with those Broodlords. We've got 4 Corruptors on the way, looking to turn those into Broodlords, and look at this, we've got a Happy, unfortunately losing a ton of SCVs right there. A Baneling Splash comes in, good amount of workers killed right there. I think it was at least 15, and as far as I'm aware, Xlord hasn't killed any others, so yeah, it could even have been 16 workers annihilated there that were transferring down to the space.
Not gonna feel happy about that.
No, he is not. And Happy right now, significant damage coming in right now on the hatchery, and that will go down, there's no real question about that.
Xlord actually does not count as a hatchery, just wasting 300 minerals.
Yeah, that's very, very unfortunate there. A little bit of a slip up right there in Xlord's play. He does have 4 Broodlords on the way and another Corruptor. The Viking count is starting to rise, but it's nowhere near what it needs to be.
Definitely not, especially with all the infestors below the Broodlords. He needs to add some Corruptors now as well.
We see Happy just trying to hold the middle of the map right now. There are some roaches down here, but not really enough to deal with the Planetary Fortress backed up by repairs. He's going for it anyway, though. They've actually got no upgrades either, which is not so helpful. He's going for the mineral line instead by the looks. Oh, the Planetary Fortress may be able to hold this. In the meantime, we do have an engagement coming in the middle. At least we would if Happy decided not to run away like a sissy girl. It looks like Xlord charging in after Happy's expansion right there, but it didn't work out so well. Xlord doing a little bit of damage, in fact a fairly significant amount on the working count in the middle right there.
Definitely Happy not looking that good anymore after all, especially with all the Broodlords out there and the meching army, which is a horror for Terran to face against Broodlords.
Yeah, Happy ran, and I don't blame him at all. Those Broodlords will be brutal. He's got 4 Vikings coming out at once. He needs to get those nailed down immediately. Xlord has a window here where he can do some real damage. Those roaches actually did very, very well. A quick tank drop cleans up what was left of those roaches. The thing is, the entire middle line of Happy down to the south actually got gutted there. And here comes the engagement. A good fungal landed on those Vikings right there. Second fungal nails down the Hellions. However, those Broodlords are taking massive fire. Oh, wow. All of the Vikings now down bar 1 at the back right here. Those Broodlords doing extremely well. The Thor turned around, and its own guns now slaughtering their way through those tanks. Great neural parasite play right here. Another Thor gun down, another tank gun down. The Thor has 5 kills right now. That's looking really great, but unfortunately Xlord didn't quite have what he needed to break it.
And still Xlord not having the greatest economy that he would wish for. Only 60 drones against 58 SCVs plus mules. So Happy still far ahead in the game.
It's a great play by Xlord. I mean, this has been a fantastic series of games, but still, Xlord is behind Happy, and that's going to prove to be extremely problematic.
Happy roasting a lot of drones once again with Hellions on the 4th base. Xlord being in big trouble now. Probably just going to be... No, the fungal does not connect, and he hits all the drones in the transfer.
That's very, very nice there by Happy, no question. It makes me feel very, very happy to see that many dead drones, and I think Happy feels the same way. 44 workers killed now by Happy.
And we are down to 100 supply for Xlord, and the 4th base is in danger of going down.
There's no question, really, is there? And the 4 eliminated, but mass fire from the ranks of siege tanks coming in right here. The Viking will go down. I don't think he's really concerned about that because of that is that 4th base denied. There is another one up in the corner right here, but it's of course vulnerable to attack.
And it does not have a single drone mining yet, so it really is not worth speaking of almost.
Absolutely right. And Xlord doing some decent damage to that siege tank line. He's able to nail down a couple with fungal growth right here. And pursuing it with as many Zerglings. He's looking for an interception. It looks like he's slightly behind. There are Hellions ready to back this up. Now, Happy decides to engage right there, and he's not actually engaging with the Hellions, which is curious. He just lost a few tanks for no real reason there.
Yeah, a bad play by Happy, but will it even matter at this point?
That's a good question. A fungal growth dropped down right there to do some damage. The army supply of Xlord really is flagging very, very badly right here. It's 25 to 60 in favor of Happy, and it looks like he's not all that worried. He's pretty chilled out about this whole thing.
Yeah, Xlord's economy plummeting. He is down to 3 mining crystals now at his natural. Once again trying to transfer his drones to the 4th base. But will there be Hellions waiting once again? And the hatchery is not even up yet, so it's going to be taking a long time until he actually gets a real benefit out from it.
Yeah, and Xlord with some very ineffectual baneling harassment there on the top base that was able to take out 2 mules and really nothing else. So not really concerned about that. Happy's also found this base, so it's going to be under grave threat. And Xlord really is not in a great position at all. It's 86, army supplied at 22. Worker supply has fallen behind. Xlord is starved of any kind of real amount of anything. We've got the Infestors coming in right here, down to the bottom. They're able to deploy some Infested Terrans to drive Happy away from his minimal line, but really it just comes down to how long Happy's going to wait before he crunches Xlord.
Definitely, just taking his time, knowing he can just be patient and starve off Xlord as he's getting more far ahead every second of the game. Just taking on the 12 o'clock expansion first and now moving out with his main army.
Xlord not even building anything, and really what economies are you going to use to actually build? The income comparison, it tells a very grim story for Xlord. He's able to get a little bit of mining going, but Happy is already driving his way forward, and he has a mass Viking count. He's up against barely anything. It's not even worth discussing his army right now. Xlord just trying to hold on for as long as possible, but really Happy's got this.
Yeah, just moving on, and even escorting his SCVs because he did not want to have a repeat on losing all his SCVs, transferring over there. Xlord going into position with his infestors, but really, little 5 infestors won't do anything without support.
It's going to be really hard to do anything with it. GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Finally, Xlord concedes that game 2-0 to Happy in this best of 3 series.